But first, Celtics point guard Terry Rozier throwing it off the glass to himself. Selfish. Pelicans won, but still there's that.
Terry Rozier was almost a punchline because people kept saying Danny Ainge won't trade for a superstar because he wants to keep Terry Rozier. People were like, give me a break. He's played well this year.
He's a good role player for them. Won a couple games for him.
Yeah. No,
Spot-up shooter, good defender.
Same game, watch Jason Tatum with the hezzy, curl, tween, behind the back, dribble, through a jumper, hezzy,
oh,
curl, what? Behind
Jenna,
the back.
just yell, filet.
Filet!
Good job, Jenna.
Oh, it's good. No one even heard that.
Jason Tatum got crossed the floor earlier in the game, so I'm glad he made up for you.
All right, Mavs, super athlete, Dennis Smith Jr.
Hezzy.
Hezzy.
Filet. He put his hand on the left-hand side of the ball. Not up under it, because that's illegal, but just on the side of the ball.
Hey,
Damn.
Cece, remind me again where the best athletes in the world play. Just
NFL.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Ain't nothing over there.
That guy.
Yeah, we saw Miles Garrett do that, right?
Come on, not quite like that. Miles Garrett did a block.
Miles Garrett.
Well, he was up there. Don't you think he could have done
27
that?
feet
Not
in the
quite like
air.
that. Not quite like that.
Time for in or out. We start with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin went 13-3 this past season, but after losing to the Jags, multiple Steelers partners are now reportedly going to lobby owner Art Rooney to fire him. CC, you in or out on the Steelers bringing Mike Tomlin back next season?
I'm totally in on it. Actually, I'm a little exhausted with it. I've been going through this for such a long time. Dennis Green, that's all they tried to do in Minnesota was fire him. Tony Dungy, not only did people not want to hire him, they always, once he didn't win the Super Bowl, all they wanted to do was fire him. So this has happened to minority coaches, black coaches in the NFL. Mike Tomlin is a leader of men. There's not a lot of people that can coach an NFL team. I'm totally in on Mike. And the Steelers organization, they know what they're doing with their head coach.
I'm totally in that they should bring back Mike Tomlin. This should not be a question. It's a question because people are out of their minds. And is Mike Tomlin a perfect coach? No. Do I have some serious issues with how Mike Tomlin deals with the clock and timeouts? Absolutely. But that's the case with almost every coach in the league. Like, nobody's the perfect head coach. There's not 5 people in the world better at being a pro football head coach than Mike Tomlin. Of course they should bring him back.
All right, well said. Moving on to Drew Brees. Brees is a free agent at 39 years old. Brees says he'll stay with the Saints as long as they will have him. Nick, are you in or out on signing Drew Brees to a multi-year deal at age 36?
39.
39 is also the age that he is.
You know how I feel, CC, about 40-year-old quarterbacks. And if you're 39, you get a multi-year deal, you're going to be a 40-year-old quarterback. Despite all that, I'm in because the Saints window's open right now. Like maybe the last year of a multi-year deal, it's a bad cap figure and you're trying to figure out how to move on. But you could have won the Super Bowl this year. You could win it next year, as long as Drew Brees is your quarterback. So I am in.
Yeah, with your theory as far as 40-year-old quarterback, you do realize a man has already landed on the moon. But you do realize a long time before that they thought that was impossible. I think it's more possible that guys are going to play an elite level at 40. All right, we got Ben. He's going to be approaching that in a couple of years if he takes care of himself. He don't have them chipmunk cheeks. All right, but Drew Brees, him and Tom Brady, they're an elite company. They haven't been hurt. As long as Drew Brees or Tom Brady don't get hurt, you can be a very effective quarterback playing into your 40s. Give him a 3-year deal. I want $90 million. All right, stack it up. I don't care how you want it. 30 a year. Yeah,
CC, off camera, by the way, we got to talk about that moon landing you mentioned, but we won't do that on national television. Go ahead.
Also, this just in.
Did they take it back?
Drew Brees is still 39. Moving on to Tom Brady, who has previously breaking. I got you, control room.
In your defense, he just had a birthday 2 days ago.
Yeah, so
Now he wouldn't have been 36 prior.
Yeah,
He would have been 38.
like Benjamin Button.
No, but Benjamin Roethlisberger is 36, so there you go.
There you go.
Tom
Well
Brady.
done.
Oh, thank you very much. Tom Brady, who has previously said he wants to play till he's now, we're throwing ages out, 45. In an interview yesterday, Brady adjusted that just a bit, saying he wants to keep playing until he can't help the Patriots win. CC, you in or out on Tom Brady playing till he's 45?
No, Tom can't play till he's 45. And the reason why is because in the next several years, what Tom's got to avoid, talked about with Drew Brees, Tom hasn't really gotten hit and had a big injury. As long as he doesn't have an injury, I believe he can play the next 2 or 3 years. But no, 5 years, 5 more, absolutely not. Because at that age, you can't survive a traumatic injury. And I just believe the longer he stays out there, the higher the risk goes up.
I'm out on this. 42, I'd listen to you. 45,
You was out on 40. You got to be out on
we're in
45.
crazy talk. And to do a cross-sport comparison for a moment, a guy can be playing at a super high level at an older age, but then suffer the injury and not be able to recover from it. That's what happened to Kobe. Kobe, pre-Achilles injury, looked not like peak Kobe, but he was averaging 27 a game in year 17, I think. But once you're that age and you suffer the major injury and you lose your routine, you can't do the same thing day in, day out because you're rehabbing, your body doesn't respond well. So 45, I am out.
Kobe should have been on board with that TB12.
Yeah, that was
a couple years before it was invented. Moving on to Blake Bortles, he threw for 214 yards and a touchdown in the shocking win against the Steelers. He's had his ups and downs all year, so Nick, you in or out on Blake Bortles continuing his solid play against the New England Patriots?
I ask myself, I close my eyes, can I envision a world that exists where Blake Bortles goes on the road in a game to win the Super Bowl in New England and plays good? Nah, bro. So I'm out. I just can't see it. I can't
Hold
create.
on. Did you envision that going to Pittsburgh? Did your eyes close?
There was a world that existed. It was a far galaxy away, but it existed. This one is not in this galaxy, in another galaxy.
All right.
In none of it. No, I'm out.
I'm in.
Oh!
And the reason why I have to be in is not only because the #1 job of Blake Bortles is try to win this game. Can Jacksonville win? If that had been the question, yes, I'm in. I believe they can win. Can Blake Bortles, he's going to play a part in that if they do win. He cannot play bad and for them to win the game. So if I believe they have a chance to win, I got to be in on Blake Bortles.
All right.
I kind of like that little transitive property of sports. I like it. Okay.
The transitive property of sports. And finally, the Eagles are embracing their underdog mentality after upsetting the Falcons. Lane Johnson and Chris Long donned a pair of dog masks, underdogs. And now fans are following suit. They've cleaned out at least one seller on Amazon. Nick, you in or out on the Eagles players and fans wearing dog masks
Jenna,
to
you
the
liked
game?
this, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, of course, because it's the corniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm out on this.
Unnecessary. That is unnecessary. You set me up and crushed me down.
Give me a break with these. You're pro athletes putting on dog masks.
You're playing a kid's game.
I'm out,
Have fun
CC.
with it.
Nick, you think I'd ever wear a dog mask?
Nah, bro. You're scared of dogs.
Yeah, I'm in on the dog mask because I'm totally out on dogs. And I don't want the world to think I'm just a bad person, but I'm totally out on all dogs. And being in New York City, it did not get me closer to dogs. It even made me further away from dogs. Okay. And all the people in New York City, please help out these streets. You got people like Chris Carter out here. Please clean up after your dogs.
Well, and
curve your dog.
You go to the airport with CC. Part of the job is to walk up to the nice police officer and say, listen, you might know my friend. You might want to talk to my friend. Someone else needs to hold on to that dog if you want to go approach my friend right there, because he does not do well. I saw Chris almost run out of the house once because of 3 giant dogs. Yeah, doesn't do well.
OBJ's dogs.
OBJ's dog's bigger than I am.
All right.
They're not legal, I don't think.
Set under the press. Coming up, serious beef between 2 former Celtics stars. That's next on First Things First.
Don't want that problem.
Cece thought he saw another spaceship when he saw them dogs, man.